Well, I don't know. I think historically, Wimbledon have always enjoyed battering the big teams, if you like, or making the life difficult for the big teams. And for some reason at Highbury, I think the narrowness of the pitch helps them, or did help them in the past, Richard, because it made it difficult. They made it very tight and compact, and they've always made life difficult for them. But we'll wait and see if they can do that tonight. I'm not so sure they can.
Arsenal have left Nicholas Anelka out tonight. Kanu starts. Now that could be interesting. Do you think that will change the formation at all?
Well, I'm going to be interested to say, I think Arsene Wenger's been reluctant to play these two together as a front two, because they're very similar. Both like to drop off the front, both like to, you know, not be such a front-line striker. They've obviously sacrificed that blistering pace of Anelka in behind, because Kanu won't have that. He doesn't have that, I don't think. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play, whether both of them go and play two up top, which they might do. I can't believe they will drop off the pace. Whether Overmars will play a slightly different role, Richard. Maybe one off the front. I don't know. But we'll wait and see, because I think it's a good decision from the Arsenal manager. I think Anelka's body language in the semi-final was very poor. And he never played well for me. And I think that maybe this is a little kick up the backside for him to say, hey, we need a bit more from you.
He's an extraordinary big fella, this one.
I like him. Honestly, I wondered about when I saw his debut at Old Trafford. He came on. Oh, he played in that game when Arsenal drew 1-1. And I couldn't work him out. I said, if he gets into a jog, he'll be sprinting. That's what he looked like. But since then...
Loads of tricks as well.
Great feet, great ability. He has got pace when he gets started. But he's not the blistering, off-the-mark pace of a Nicholas Anelka. And it's going to be interesting how they cope with that. I think that when you look at Wimbledon's side, they will undoubtedly, for me, defend deep. Try and compact it. By that I mean play very narrow, because Arsenal like to feed it through into front men. I would encourage him, as I've said, to get it wide, because Anelka, well, he's not playing, has never scored with a header. Overmars is not likely to score with a header. Neither is Bergkamp. So they will fancy dealing with crosses. We don't know how Kanu can. He's certainly big enough to score from a cross.
Should do something.
Kanu, and they might have to use that tonight, Arsenal. They might have to score from a cross or a set piece initially. But I just think that when I look at the Arsenal side and I look at the Wimbledon side, I can see nothing but an Arsenal win tonight.
And that's all they need, just
yes. Hey, forget the performance. It is not important.
Commentators tonight, and they were together at Ninian Park yesterday. There's nothing to separate them, it seems, over the last 24 hours or so.
Apart from looks.
Apart from looks. He's not that ugly.
Thanks, Andy.
Go easy on him. And that is a big separation, trust me. Clive Allen and Alan Parry.
Well, the battle for the championships on the boil again, isn't it? And if Arsenal win tonight, they'll go to within 1 point of Manchester United. And Clive, I would think at this stage of the season, Arsenal are not the team that Manchester United want breathing down their necks.
No, I think the thing is with Arsenal is that they've been in this situation before. They certainly came from behind last year to overtake Manchester United. They feel confident. I think the thing is it's all about attitude tonight. They're taking on a Wimbledon side that will come, will fight, will be dogged. And really, they must get a result. It's no more than a win. They must really look for these 3 points, Arsenal, and keep hot on the tails of Manchester United.
Let's have a look at the teams then. One of Arsenal's great strengths, of course, is the consistency of their team selection, particularly in defence. But the famous five has been disrupted tonight. Lee Dixon's ankle injury keeps him out. Nelson Vivas takes his place. Dennis Bergkamp plays despite a groin problem. And Mark Overmars returns to the starting lineup, having overcome his ankle injury. But the big news, Clive, is Arsene Wenger's decision to replace Nicholas Anelka with the Nigerian international Kanu.
Yes, I think the thing was, it was a surprise when we arrived to find Anelka sitting on the bench. And maybe it is all about attitude. Arsene Wenger probably feels that, and he's introduced the box of tricks in Kanu. The interesting thing for me will definitely be which one of the two plays further forward. I would imagine that the Bergkamp will drop and Kanu will be forced into a further forward position, the focal point of their attack, but definitely they will try to exploit the pace of Overmars down the left, and the consistent performances of Parler will be called upon again tonight down the right.
And of course, it's a very special occasion for Arsenal's Ray Parler tonight. It's his 200th league appearance for the club. He's had a great season again. Scored 5 goals in his last 9 Premiership games, and as you can see, before the match received the Carling Player of the Month award as the division's outstanding individual during March. Well, I'm sure that Wimbledon would prefer their season to end right now. They're marooned in mid-table, apparently not really going anywhere. Their form has dipped alarmingly, and their small squad has been really stretched by injuries. Chris Perry, Neil Ardley, Andy Roberts, Effie Koku and Michael Hughes are all missing, and several players appear tonight despite the fact that they're carrying injuries. Midfielder Stuart Castledine makes the lineup for the first time in over a year.
Well, I think Wimbledon will come and, as Andy said, try to stay compact. They've got to try and frustrate Arsenal. There'll be a massive jaw in the middle of midfield, but with Robbie Earle in your side, you always maybe have a chance of scoring that goal against the run of play, but really it's the midfield battle, I feel, that is going to determine the winners of this game this evening.
Well, one look at the league table tells you how important this game is. Arsenal standing third at the start of play with 63 points from their 32 games. If they win tonight, they'll move above Chelsea and go, as I mentioned, to within a point of Manchester United, though they will, of course, have played a game more than Alex Ferguson's team, and indeed still have an inferior goal difference. If Arsenal were to draw tonight, they'd still go into second place on goal difference and then be 3 points behind Manchester United. And of course, if the unthinkable happens for these Arsenal fans and their team lose, then Manchester United would stay 4 points ahead of them with a game in hand, and that would make things difficult even for the mighty Arsenal. They've lost just 3 of their 32 league games this season, the Gunners. All of them away from home against Sheffield Wednesday, Villa and Wimbledon. In fact, Wimbledon have been something of a bogey team for Arsenal in recent seasons. But tonight's Wimbledon, a team really on the decline. A lot of injuries, a lot of problems. Their manager Joe Kinnear not involved, of course. I spoke to Joe, in fact, earlier today. He sounded very chirpy, getting a lot better. He's lost some weight. I don't think he's too happy with the diet the doctors have forced him to endure. But he does expect to be back in action again for the beginning of next season.
I don't think he's happy with the haul of points either since he's been absent from the club, Alan. I think that's the thing that's been alarming from Wimbledon's point of view. But they would love nothing more than to come here and even just pick up a point this evening at Highbury.
A big night then for Arsenal, and an important night for Wimbledon to gain some self-respect and halt their slide. It's a pretty patched up Wimbledon side, as we mentioned. Several players, including Thatcher there, who just walked through the camera shot, playing despite carrying injuries. And this is not the place you want to come if you're not 100% fit. But it's the walking wounded for Wimbledon. They really had no choice. Referee Stephen Lodge and his linesman find a way through that crowded tunnel, and in a moment they'll walk out onto a pretty windy evening here at Highbury, and a pitch that has won the best surface in the Premiership Award for the 5th time now in the last 9 seasons. Well, Leicester's battling draw at Chelsea yesterday has strengthened Manchester United's grip on the leadership. Now, surely it's down to Arsenal to try and keep the pressure on Alex Ferguson's team. Victory tonight, and the champions will be just a point behind United. But as we all know, Wimbledon do have a habit of spoiling the script. It's Arsenal against Wimbledon, and it kicks off soon. Starting lineup tonight, one of their newest players, a man who was only a distant observer when Arsenal won the League and Cup double last season. The Nigerian international Kanu makes his 12th appearance. All but 2 of them had been as a substitute before tonight. Signed for £4.5 million, of course, from Inter Milan in January, and replacing Nicolas Anelka, who'd gone 7 games without scoring a goal after a run of 6 goals in 5 games during February. Anelka on the bench, Kanu in the starting lineup, and Arsenal in pursuit of the 3 points that would keep them breathing down Manchester United's necks. Their epic FA Cup reverse, of course, against United. Arsenal's first defeat in 21 League and Cup games. It really hurt, but no one doubts Arsenal have the resilience to put that setback behind them tonight. Very windy conditions, as I mentioned. but the playing surface absolutely perfect. The minute silence was conducted impeccably by referee Stephen Lodge and this full house Highbury crowd just before tonight's kick-off.
Alan, I must say, as it has been throughout the country over the weekend, absolutely fantastic that's been.
Wimbledon starting the match in 12th place in the table, 41 points they have. A bit of concern in the Wimbledon camp because of their recent decline, but most people in the game would consider around 40 points enough to ensure safety. Wimbledon, however, have got their pride and don't want the season to fall apart now. Winterburn's free kick to the skipper Tony Adams, exchanges passes with Bergkamp, and then Kimball wins it back for Wimbledon, all in blue tonight. Martin Keown playing his last game before a 2-match ban. He's sending off against Blackburn, his second red card of the season. And his clearance a little untidy by his standards. Wimbledon build again with Kimball.
That was resulting after Carl Court's tremendous closing down there. Didn't give Martin Keown a second to clear upfield, played a shorter ball into Vivas. That was exactly what David Kemp, Mick Harford will be looking for from his young striker tonight.
Court teamed with Marcus Gale in the Wimbledon attack. Court spent most of this season on the substitute bench, tried to win the header there, but the referee has seen an infringement anyway. Free kick to Arsenal. David Kemp and Mick Harford have steadied the ship as best they can in the absence of Joe Kinnear. Both very good coaches, but there's an awful lot to management that sometimes meets the eye, and the psychology employed by Joe Kinnear, who's one of the best in the business, has certainly been missed.
I think the players will be made aware exactly what they're expected of them this evening, though, Alan.
There's Kanu for Arsenal. Overmars back in the starting lineup. Winterburn short if he needs him. He goes the direct route to Kanu, turn quickly and wins the first corner of the game.
So laid back, isn't he? Looks as if he's not going to break sweat all evening, but he is definitely a boxer, Trick. You don't know what he's going to do.
And certainly the crowd here have taken to him immediately. Keown forward, as is Adams. Was cut out by Stuart Castledine. One back by Parler. And Nigel Winterburn. Bergkamp dropping deep from the preceding corner. Parler provides the overlap, and that provided the space for Bergkamp to go forward. Kimball's clearance. Nelson Vivas replacing the injured Lee Dixon tonight. Now Winterburn. Almost 4 years a Wimbledon player himself in the early part of his career. Kanu couldn't quite turn and return the ball there to Overmars. That's gone out of play. It's Arsenal's throw-in. Newell failing to keep it in play. And Tony Adams again for Arsenal, who scored in the 5-0 victory that Arsenal enjoyed against Wimbledon here last season. Martin Keown leaves it again to Adams. Space opening up for the skipper. This is Bergkamp. That was a clever little ball, but it almost fooled his own players as well as Wimbledon's defence.
Well, it's definitely Bergkamp, the one who is dropping the deeper of the two strikers. Again, looking for that, you know, it's needle through a haystack there. Petit has gone on, but the Wimbledon back line looking for offside, but unfortunately Bergkamp can't find Petit with that one.
Surprisingly poor kicked clearance there by Neil Sullivan. Arsenal take the throw quickly. Newell wins it back, and that should be a routine first touch for David Seaman, who's not conceded a goal in his last 7 league games here at Highbury. If he keeps another clean sheet tonight, then he'll set a new club record. He's first to credit the men in front of him. Including here Martin Keown, now such an established member, one of the most famous defence in football, the best defence in the Premiership, and indeed the best defence this season in any of the major European leagues. Here's Overmars. Tempting Ewell into the tackle, pulled it back for Carnu. Blackwell's clearance, and Adams in quickly.
Overmars using his pace, getting to the byline, but again, the numbers in the box. Wimbledon doubling up, and Blackwell runs it out to safety, but Overmars definitely, with the narrowness of the pitch here at Highbury, he could certainly hold the key with his pace, playing wide this evening.
Wimbledon, one of only 3 clubs to beat Arsenal in the Premiership this season. In 32 games before tonight, they won 1-0 at Selhurst in November with a goal by Ethne Kuku, who's out injured tonight. And they could actually become the only club to do the double over Arsenal, although they still have to play Aston Villa, who were the last team to beat the champions. Here's Winterburn. Patrick Vieira. Now Petit. Overmars runs into space. Adams joins in and gives it away to Kerry Hughes. That's a decent ball too. Gale on the end of it, caught in the middle, well placed. But he's a big lad, but even he couldn't meet that at full stretch. All 6 feet forward of him.
Fantastic break, and really the pace of Marcus Gale gives Vivas the run. Good early ball. I think the opportunities will be few and far between for Wimbledon tonight, but definitely the threats there with the pace from the front 2 players.
Vivas. Kimball's interception. Vivas wins it back again. Ray Parlour on the right picks out Carnu. What's great skill! Still waiting for his first Arsenal goal. Close then.
Always prepared to accept the ball at his feet. Great first touch to set him up. Neil Sullivan had it well covered from the 18-yard line. Blackwell again getting in a good position as well.
Sullivan having a problem with his kick clearance again there. Ford holding off the challenge from Petit. Robbie Earle plays it deep. Adams got the shout from David Seaman. Arsenal have let in just 13 goals in their 32 league matches. That includes 21 clean sheets. It really is a fantastic record.
They're supposed to be too old, aren't they, Alan? Or getting too old.
There's no life in them yet. And they certainly will take some replacing eventually one day.
I think the early pattern of the game is as we expected. Arsenal with total possession.
Here's Court. Gale in support. The layoff finds Kerry Hughes. Vivas nicked it off him. Ray Parlour. And that was a rather impetuous challenge there by Hughes. A little bit fortunate that the referee didn't see that as a free kick. Arsenal in possession anyway from the throw. Adams. Now Winterburn, who was in 2 promotion-winning sides with Wimbledon, and they moved from the old 3rd to the old 1st division. Parlour with a wonderful ball down the right, although Thatcher favourite to get there and did. Playing with an injury tonight. Had a fitness test on the pitch about an hour before kick-off, Ben Thatcher, but he's tough and resilient, and it would take more than that simple foot knock to keep him out.
And he certainly showed no signs of injury there, getting across to cover.
Kerry Hughes with a good ball forward there, finding Marcus Gale, who's just nicked in ahead of Vivas, and now Petit. He's big and strong, Gale. You don't knock him off the ball easily. He scored in 3 away matches for Wimbledon this season, and they went on to win each time. Top scorer with 11 goals. Alan Kimball with the throw, and they look for him. and did. Flick on finding Court. Adams got there first. And Vieira prevents it going behind. And finds Bergkamp. Hughes in strongly with Canu. Now Thatcher. And Arsenal will break down this left. Winterburn. Overmars sprinting on ahead of him. And here he is. Canu's peeled away quickly in the centre of defence. Blackwell marking him closely. Now Petit. Vieira joins in and lines up the shot. Thought about it, I'm sure. Leaves it to Bergkamp. That was a great effort and a marvellous save.
Again, controlled possession from Arsenal. Bergkamp a little bit deeper. Ben Thatcher maybe just a bit slow coming out. Bergkamp's not going to pass the opportunity off to try that curling right foot shot. Well tipped away by Sullivan.
Playing with a groin injury tonight, Dennis Bergkamp. Petit's corner lifted really high towards Adams on the far post. And he knocked it back into that danger area. Wimbledon was stretched. Cunningham's clearance, helped away by Kimball. And Arsenal come forward again. Nelson Vivas. Keogh. Gonna try and lose Hughes here, and Kimball. And wins the corner. Will stay forward for it. Second corner in quick succession for the champions. Adams the target again on the far post. Almost identical, and Vieira snatched at it when the ball reached him on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Another deep corner coming in. Adams winning above 3 Wimbledon defenders. Patrick Vieira, fierce drive, anything on target, would have found the back of the net.
He managed a couple of goals this season, Patrick Vieira. Winterburn slightly misjudging that, and Ewell sees the opportunity to get forward and get it back from Gale. On to Hughes. Kimball outside him. Vieira wins it back. Bergkamp again Thatcher in quickly, and Hughes with another rather rash challenge. Certainly putting himself about Kerry Hughes, who started the last 4 games now after being sidelined for most of the season. That's the kind of commitment that Wimbledon will be looking for tonight. Keogh. Winterburn. Canu. Here's Petit. Lovely ball for Overmars. They do well in the end to keep it in play. The win there, because it's behind Arsenal's backs in this first half, just carried it too far. Vivas. Now Parla. 4 Arsenal men in the box. If you can get the cross in, pull back to Petit. Now Overmars. Petit again. Court relieves the pressure. Ewell. This is Kimball. Vieira stretched and did enough. Now Petit. Bergkamp. Robbie Earle takes it off him. Good clearance under pressure from Sullivan. Finds Gale. Hughes looking for Court down the left. No one in support at the moment. He's just going to have to hold play up here. Now support arriving. Kimball. Hughes there again. Thought he should have had a free kick for that little nudge. But all Wimbledon get is a throw-in.
This is a classic effort from Dennis Bergkamp, as we see, just pulls off of the defender and use Ben Thatcher as a screen so that Neil Sullivan won't see that shot coming round until it's late, but he's well positioned to turn it away.
And the downward header there by Court, fortunately for David Seaman, carried no real power. Winterburn sees the chance to get forward quickly here for Arsenal. Dennis Bergkamp. Kanu. Winterburn. This is Petit. Vieira. Kanu's drifted out to the right. Looking for Bergkamp. Easy one for Neil Sullivan. He hasn't missed a Premiership game in Wimbledon's goal for 2 years now. It's his 78th successive appearance tonight.
They really have set their stall out, Alan, time and time again. Whenever Arsenal get anywhere near around the Wimbledon box, there's more than enough bodies in there. They're doubling up on one another.
But here's Gale threatening danger at the other end. Just hesitated and gave Keown the chance to make the tackle. Corner.
Good feet from Gale. He's probably on his unfavoured right side. Keown comes across quickly to smother the opportunity of him trying to cross the face of the goal.
Wimbledon's first corner of the game. Eddie Hughes will take it. Court making a run from near the penalty spot. The tallest player in the box. Although it went in the end to Gale, who's a very good player in the air, of course. He's got pace and power, good on the left, good in the air. Been a great signing. Adams. Now Keown. Vivas. Mars has called for the long ball, but Vivas taking no chances. Pushes it short to Petit. Blackwell's clearance under pressure. And Earl could only present it back to Manu Petit.
There's nowhere to go, Alan. Nowhere to go forward anyway because of the bodies in front of them.
There's a lovely looking ball. Bergkamp hit it first time. That was great technique.
Bergkamp takes up a lovely position again. Petit delivers the ball on the angle, knows he hasn't got a lot of time, strikes it beautifully with a right foot. Again, Sullivan in the right position.
Ray Parlour. It's been almost constant Arsenal pressure, but there have been a couple of warning signs delivered by Wimbledon. Who do seem to enjoy particularly playing here at Highbury. Indeed, their general record against Arsenal is very good. They're the only London club who've beaten Arsenal in the Premiership, would you believe? Over 3.5 years, a total of 33 games. So the Tottenhams and the Chelseas and the West Hams of this world all take second place behind Wimbledon when it comes to their performances against the champions. And they produce another one tonight. Kanu. Lovely ball for Winterburn. Bergkamp near post on the far post. Arriving was Ray Parlour.
It's an attack of pace. The first time really that Arsenal have gone into top gear. Good deep cross from Winterburn. Parlour arriving late. Unfortunately can't keep it down. Get it on target.
He has been in excellent goal-scoring form of late. 5 goals in his last 9 Premiership appearances. And again, Sullivan, I don't know whether the windy conditions are contributing to this, but that's the 3rd kick he's misplaced.
It's a narrow pitch, isn't it, Alan?
It is, I think, officially the narrowest in the Premiership. Doesn't seem to bother Arsenal too much. There's Jason Newell for Wimbledon. Hughes. Giving away to Vieira. He's lost possession. Last down. Just too far ahead of Marcus Gale. And Vivas. Lovely ball. Bergkamp picking out Winterburn. 4 months now since anyone has beaten Arsenal, and I was there that day when Aston Villa turned round a 2-0 deficit and made it a 3-2 victory in one of the most remarkable games of the season. Here's Canu for Arsenal. It was a clever little ball in again from Bergkamp. Hughes gets it away, but only as far as Petit. Given away by Vivas. Hughes certainly does look lively early on here for Wimbledon. This is Cunningham. Jason Ewell. One over the top for Court, but that should be no problem for Adams, and wasn't. Now Nigel Winterburn. Vieira. Bergkamp pointing to exactly where he wanted the ball. Petit. Now Overmars. Arsenal probing away patiently. And Vieira maybe sees a chance for a shot here. Kept getting forced wide by Thatcher. Good defending by the Wimbledon man. Now Hughes. Ewell. Kimball tries the long ball for Carl Court. Keogh knows he's there, but it's still lost out to Carl Court, who's done really well here. Now Ewell. Back to Court, who's miles offside, surely, yes. And lost his boot in the process.
Initially, he does really well. Keown gets caught the wrong side, decides to lay it back, but then look at how Keown pushes up, how straight the back four are. Leaves him 2 yards offside. Classic defending by the Arsenal rear guard.
I think the flag saved Carl Court from embarrassment there. Vieira with a lovely ball. Again, well anticipated by Alan Kimball. Such a steady, consistent player. And Court's only just retrieved and relaced his boot. And it's the fact that he's so deep inside Arsenal's half here. And making a nuisance of himself. Now Adams. Haven't quite hit top gear yet, and the crowd a little subdued, surprisingly, waiting for the breakthrough, no doubt. Canu. There's Overmars. There's a lovely quick change of feet there and direction.
But what Wimbledon have done well, Alan, they've restricted Arsenal to chances from 18 yards and beyond, long shots, and at the moment Neil Sullivan certainly equal to that this evening.
Lovely little ball there by Gale to Ewell. He's got caught up with him. And the offside flag, I think, was raised then. The referees acknowledged it and waved play on anyway.
Alan, I'm going to make this point now because there's plenty of time left. You're in a bad run of results at the moment with your 0-0, so we're going to have some goals tonight. I'll make that prediction.
OK, and your head be it. Winterburn. Overmars. Good effort. Sullivan held it well.
Well, Neil Sullivan's going to be in for a busy evening, but I think he's going to enjoy it if most of the shots are going to come from this range. Difficult one to deal with as it bounces just in front of him, but again, he's in the right position.
Wimbledon have got a player, I think it's Jason Ewell, lying injured here as Canu sportingly knocks the ball out of play, and as the man involved in that infamous incident against Sheffield United in the FA Cup, I think he's learned to take the diplomatic action these days.
Actually, when ball was played forward, I think Bergkamp maybe felt that he was going to take advantage of that situation, but all credit to Canu. As soon as he saw you're on the floor, knocked it straight out of play.
2.5 years in charge now, Arsene Wenger. What an incredible period that has been for Arsenal, lifting their first league title for 7 years, their 11th overall, the same number exactly as Manchester United. So who's going to go ahead in that particular honours list, I wonder, this season? Don't write off Chelsea, even though yesterday's battling performance by Leicester has made it particularly difficult now for Bialy's team. Here's Petit. Parla. Vivas. Canu. Lovely return ball. Oh, that would have been a classic goal as Parla got on the end of it. Great play there by Arsenal. Lovely layoff. Petit finding Winterburn. Arsenal getting in the mood, getting in the groove. Overmars. Petit. Canu. Bergkamp takes over, and that spells danger. Oh, how did he do that? How did he get such power from a standing position?
Tempo of the game's just been lifted in this game, Alan, and I think that's exactly what Arsenal needed, really.
Gale, meanwhile, looks for Carl Cord in the middle. David Seaman was always going to be in charge of that situation. Overmars. Bergkamp, who's made one or two fabulous contributions to this game already. Vivas.
Best opportunities definitely come when Arsenal just up the pace a little bit.
As they do now. Parla, good position. Screamer.
Cut back from Vivas. Fierce drive again from Parla, and I think maybe Sullivan possibly gets fingers on it. But this was where it all started earlier on when they picked the pace up. Much quicker tempo, excellent back heel from Kanu. Parla again getting himself into a dangerous position. Sullivan up to it once again.
And Arsenal have created 3 chances in as many minutes. And just look at that, Clive. That underlines Arsenal's domination so far.
It is total domination, Alan, there's no doubt about that, but Neil Sullivan has certainly been up to everything that Arsenal have thrown at him so far this evening.
And his 5th cap for Scotland recently in their defeat in the European Championship qualifiers against the Czech Republic. And a goalkeeper that a lot of clubs would like to have on their books, I'm sure.
He'll be enjoying his workout he's had so far this evening, that's for sure.
Here's Bergkamp. Lovely skill again as he almost lifted it nonchalantly over the defender's head. Overmars. Great work by Overmars. Just overhit the cross. Finger's clearance has dropped short though. Petit caught there by Hughes, and that's about the 3rd rather clumsy tackle by Kerry Hughes, and that means the referee's lost patience. He'll be cautioned.
Well, they went for the aerial challenge, and then I think Hughes really just lashes for the ball, but Petit's there earlier, toes it away from him. He takes a really nasty whack on the outside of that left knee.
And the Wimbledon goal could take a nasty whack as well here, because this is the perfect position for Arsenal's array of dead ball specialists. Set up for Petit, and that was brave defending by Thatcher. Oh, would you believe that? He's broken from the wall. A lot of people wouldn't have fancied that, and Mr. Lodge is going to caution him. I mean, to me, he was entitled to come out there. I don't think he was encroaching before the kick was taken.
I think what he's saying is that when the ball's actually played backwards first, before it's... He's saying he breaks as Parla toes the ball, before it's stopped underfoot. And he's made up a couple of yards. You've got to...
I feel sorry for him there. But nonetheless, it's another free kick and another opportunity for Petit. Another block by the defensive wall. This time legally. Vivas. Adams. Petit will take over. Bergkamp is ever finding space where none seems likely. And here he is again. Petit lining up the left footer.
I think this is where it suits Wimbledon, really, Alan. When they're playing at this tempo, Arsenal, they can get the bodies back behind the ball. They can make it very difficult for Arsenal to get through them, and they're restricting them to long-range efforts. They'll be quite happy for Petit, Vieira, even Bergkamp firing in from that sort of range.
Adams wins a towering header. Thatcher wanted some help there from Sullivan and decided to take charge himself. Since Joe Kinnear's health problems, Wimbledon have drawn 1 and lost 5 in the league. Only 1 point out of 18. That came recently in their home draw against Manchester United.
People say how influential managers. I think there's evidence in those statistics there, Alan.
Mark Overmars, lovely ball, Parla, Vieira, Petit, Canu, got that one wrong between him and Parla. Tomorrow night on Sky Sports 2, our nationwide action takes in Ipswich, going of course for promotion, against Stockport County. And more nationwide action for you from Division 1 on Friday night. It's Bury against Bolton Wanderers. Wimbledon with just 1 win now in their last 16 League and Cup matches. That was at Sheffield Wednesday over a month ago. And only 1 win in their last dozen league games. But they're in a good position here. At least they were till Adams made that challenge. And suddenly Overmars threatens at the other end. Blackwell defended brilliantly there. Did well, Dean Blackwell, did really well. But even he is closed down. And suddenly the ball ricocheting around there. And Ewell finally brings it away. And gives it away. Castellan's foul on Vieira. Hasn't figured in the first team for over a year now. Stuart Castellan, who's been pretty unlucky with injuries in his half a dozen years in the first team squad. Here's Petit. Petit wins it back again. And again. He was determined he was going to get a shot in there. Hasn't actually scored since that fabulous FA Cup match up at Preston in January. Got 2 goals that night. And Arsenal came back from 2 down. Bergkamp. Lovely ball. Overmars took it in his stride. Kanu near the penalty spot. Parla arriving in support. And he pulls it back to Bergkamp. That was a great block by Robiel. Vieira. Parla. The back heel for Vivas. Blackwell's cross. Blackwell's header from the cross. Vieira miskicked. He's got it back again. Kanu. Finally, relief for Wimbledon, and a good clearance as well by Thatcher, but Adams read it brilliantly. Now Winterburn, the crowd sensing that Arsenal are close to the breakthrough here. Bergkamp, Petit, Overmars. Kanu couldn't get there, but he did, and he scored again. It's Parla. It's 1-0 Arsenal.
It was almost as if they were lifted by the roar of the crowd there, Alan. And again, it was the influential Overmars. His pace was always going to be a threat. Gets to the byline. I'm not so sure that Kanu maybe pushed Blackwell out the way, but Ray Parla was on hand to score with his left foot. As it goes into the near post here, I think maybe Kanu just steps across Blackwell, but Ray Parla whips it in with his left foot. That was a much-needed breakthrough that Arsenal needed.
So on his 200th league game for Arsenal, Ray Parla sends the bench into celebrations again. Parla's 6th goal now in his last 10 Premiership appearances, and this on the night when he won the Carling Player of the Month award for March. kiss of death to players. Not this time. And Arsenal deservedly lead here. Well, it's going to be doubly difficult now for Wimbledon in their last 2 away games. Conceded 3 goals within the opening half an hour, so at least they held on a little longer than that against the champions. But when Arsenal get in front, they are arguably the most difficult team of all to come back against. As Petit whips one in, nobody better at defending a lead than the champions.
You just wonder now whether it's going to change the course of the game, whether Wimbledon will stay with a pattern or just try to almost a damage limitation operation, or whether they may throw caution to the wind and try to get back into this encounter.
Bergkamp. There's the goal scorer. Overmars. Vivas. A kick from Sullivan, and the header on by Ford was well anticipated by Keown ahead of Gale. Castledine, Petit, Overmars. They're in gear now, all right, Arsenal, and enjoying themselves. You can sense it. Exuberant football. And what a run here by Parla. But he was dispossessed by Hughes. Now Earl. Straight to Vieira. This is Winterburn. Well, he's not exactly a renowned goal scorer, is he, Nigel Winterburn? His last goal came 18 months ago, that spectacular late winner against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
That's right, Alan. When he does score, they are spectacular, and this was an effort that certainly would have been had it nestled in the back of the net.
Only 3 times in 12 visits to Highbury since they reached the top division 13 years ago now. But to maintain that record tonight, they're going to have to produce something special. Here's Gale. Arsenal leading 1-0. Adams' clearance. Bell wins it back. Overmars. Defenders into the challenge. Overmars, the ball glued to his feet seemingly, picks out Vieira, and Vieira picks out Parla. Hatcher got it away. Petit. Parla. On to Bergkamp. Kanu in the middle. Cunningham with a difficult decision, made the right one in the end. Calm defending by the Irishman. Vivas. Given away to Hughes. Now Robiel. This is Gale. Kimball. Easy for Adams. However, under no pressure at all, he's conceded the throw.
You can sense the crowd's relief as well, Alan, that they've broken that duck and they've got themselves in front. I think they're very, very confident now that their team will go on and win this evening.
Well, considering they've only conceded 4 goals in 16 Premiership matches here at Highbury this season, their confidence is justified, I think we'll say. I think you spotted, Clive, when Ray Parlour scored, a possible infringement by Kanu on the near post when the ball was pulled back.
Yeah, just as the ball's played across the face, when Overmars great pace to get to the byline. Just watch Kanu in at the near post, step across Castledine as he tries to clear the ball. Certainly could have been deemed a free kick.
Overmars, Winterburn, Petit, Vieira, Parla. Petit finds a bit of space. Who had the strength to hold off Blackwell. Winterburn. Overmars, a constant threat. Winterburn again. Good ball, Petit. However, Overmars has been given offside. You can't believe it.
I've got to say, it was a bit of a delayed reaction from the referee's assistant over that side. Kenny Cunningham, I think it is, who's playing him on.
Arsenal are the only club in all 4 divisions of professional football in England with an unbeaten home record in the league this season. And if they get all 3 points tonight, and remember, they would be just 1 point behind the leaders Manchester United.
You don't become double winners without records like that, Alan. Foundation of a lot of Arsenal Football Club's success has been built on that.
Kimball's free kick. A bit too much on that one, Alan Kimball. Playing his 150th league game for Wimbledon tonight, incidentally.
It's a really poor free kick because, you know, the chances are few and far between. The front players are looking for maybe 1 or 2 opportunities in the game, something that they can attack, and it really was a high, wild free kick, cheap giveaway.
It's over 8 hours now since Arsenal conceded a goal in the Premiership. They kept 5 successive clean sheets since that great late strike by Dietmar Hamann up at St James's Park when they played Newcastle. It's a fabulous record, which has kept them right on the heels of Manchester United and Chelsea, of course. Vivas with the clearance. And again. It's been largely one-way traffic for Arsenal in this first half. But Wimbledon are always such rugged and dogged opponents. And they come back again here with Gale. And now with Court. Couldn't find a way through. Look how many red shirts besieged him when he got possession. But Ewell did well to come and win it back there. Hesitation by Arsenal for once. Arsenal and he finds Jason Ewell offside.
That was a classic example of why Arsenal are so difficult to score against. Linesman's flag up straight away, Jason Ewell.
Space opening up for Vivas on the Arsenal right. Parler. Bergkamp. Just played it in behind Carnu. Cunningham. Newell. Great challenge by Winterburn. Newell doing well to retain possession, and then Cunningham rather wastes it.
Brilliant closing down by Winterburn. Wimbledon finding it difficult to get out their own last third of the field.
There's Petit patrolling that midfield area with all the guile and style that you expect of him. Vivas. Oh, less style from the Argentine there. Totally wasted opportunity. Wimbledon goal kick.
I don't think there's any surprise that 53% of the play has been in that final third, that Wimbledon, in and around that Wimbledon penalty area. And I think really they'll be maybe happy to go in only with a 1-0 deficit at half-time.
Here's the man who's reduced that deficit, Ray Parler. Gets it back from Carnu. Tony Bergkamp in the box, and Tony Adams arriving now. Bergkamp. Overmars. And Parler offside.
Ray certainly found his goal-scoring boots in recent weeks, and I think it's a valuable addition to his armoury, and a very, very important goal this evening he's scored.
Arsenal still to play Middlesbrough, Tottenham, Leeds United all away, Derby and Aston Villa at home. The Villa game on the final Sunday of the season. Vivas. Kanu. Brilliant. The crowd enjoyed that. Strength, pace, good control, not so much pace, perhaps. He looks languid, but he certainly got what it takes. Now Vieira. Kanu. Sets one up. Well, he intended to for Bergkamp, but Kerry Hughes got in the way.
Just had a wonderful touch on the ball. If you watch, every time he receives the ball, his first touch, he's just got the ball totally under control with that first touch.
Close to the end of the first half. Total domination by Arsenal. And they go off with a 1-0 lead that doesn't really do justice to the amount of attacking that they have produced here. Ray Parlour, as Clive says, in great goal-scoring form of late, underlined that fact. Mark Overmars, who's tormented Wimbledon all night, pulling it back. Suggestion of a foul perhaps by Kanu, not given by the referee. Parlour went on to find the net. Arsene Wenger celebrates, and Arsenal reach the half-time interval here at Highbury, deservedly leading Wimbledon by 1-0. Thanks, Richard. It was exactly a year ago this week that Arsenal beat Wimbledon by 5-0 to go above Manchester United into first place in the Premiership. And of course they stayed there right through to the end of what was a glorious season for them. They can't take first place tonight, but Ray Parlour's goal has set them en route to a possible 3 points that could narrow the gap with the leaders Manchester United to just a point. Although it is worth stressing that Manchester United would still have a game in hand and still have a better goal difference, so they're still in the driving seat. But Arsenal are battle-hardened. They know what it takes, what it needs to win championships. They've been there, they've done it, and no one would doubt their capacity to do it again this season. Least of all, I'm sure, Alex Ferguson. Who will pay them all the respect they deserve.
I think you can sense that there's an expectancy about the crowd. They're expecting their team to put on a show now, I think. They've totally dominated the first half. They've got that all-important breakthrough. Can they go and win this comfortably?
There's Dennis Bergkamp, who did some quite magnificent things in the first half. Winterberg. Down the left-hand side, the lively, ever-dangerous Overmars. Kanu. Here's Petit. Vieira, the pattern already established. Wimbledon on the defensive. Parlour. Kanu managed to keep that in somehow. And indeed, from his persistence, has gained his team a corner. He always looks slightly bemused, doesn't he? But I think...
Does he know what's going on?
I think the defenders don't when he's got the ball at his feet, that's for sure. Good header away by Carl Cord. Kimball knocks it long, but it's inevitably won back by Arsenal when it crosses the halfway line. Overmars. Blackwell just doing enough. Sullivan left it a little bit late, but in the end his timing was right.
I think the thing is, Alan, it's Arsenal certainly don't have to change anything. They've got themselves in front. I think they're totally in control of the game. It's whether Wimbledon can actually change. Can they change the course and the pattern of this game? I'm not so sure that they can, really.
Well, at least they've got an improvement on their situation here last season, when Arsenal went 3-0 up inside 20 minutes and went on to gain a 5-0 victory. It was, surprisingly, their first victory against Wimbledon at Highbury for over 10 years. That's how well the Dons have done on this particular ground, but that kind of record looks a long way away tonight.
We mustn't forget that they are full of surprises as well.
And I know that Joe Kinnear and his North London home will be an interested spectator, and he wants to send best wishes, I'm sure he does, to Mr. Haman as well, but particularly to all those who rode to him offering best wishes after his health problems. Blackwell under pressure there against Kanu. The big defender did well. Vivas, Vieira, given away to Hughes. Gale's layoff. Robbie Earl, one of many playing whilst not being 100% fit for Wimbledon tonight. Vieira, over Mars. Winterburn steaming forward in support on his left. And here he is. He's happy to get the corner off Cunningham. Keogh makes his way forward. Adams not far behind. Adams coming in that made life difficult there. Good clearance by Blackwell, and at the other end suddenly there's a problem for Arsenal. And Newell has dispossessed Parla. He just didn't have enough players forward in support, and Winterburn, surprisingly in the inside right position, breaks away for the Gunners. Vieira, chance here. What a super strike by Patrick Vieira. Arsenal lead Wimbledon by 2-0 now.
It was a wonderful goal by Patrick Vieira, but it was made by this man, Nigel Winterburn. As Yule cuts infield, he nicks the ball away from court, breaks forward. He has two players on his left-hand side. I think he was probably playing it to Overmars, but Vieira picked it up. Fantastic left foot drive, nothing more than Arsenal deserve.
Beautifully placed shot by Patrick Vieira. Arsene Wenger on his feet celebrating again. Arsenal surely on their way to 3 precious points now. Never ever dismiss Wimbledon, but they're going to find it hard to come back now against an Arsenal team that has won their last 5 league games here at Highbury and are unbeaten in 26 Premiership matches, stretching back over 15 months. Surely even Wimbledon can't spoil this particular party now. Bergkamp shot, Sullivan equal to it this time.
I honestly think it could be showtime now, Alan.
Adams took it on the chest, brilliantly cushioned for Winterburn. Overmars. Blackwell gives Sullivan more work to do. There's Vivas. Parla. Bergkamp again. Parla had to stretch to get that ball from Petit. And gets it back again. He's in the mood to add to his single goal so far. He's won a corner.
He's got the taste, hasn't he? Kanu faces up well for him. And again, that was goal bound, but a good block by Thatcher.
And in view of Manchester United's superior goal difference, there's plenty of incentive for Arsenal to keep their foot on the throttle here tonight and go looking for more goals. And the header, I think, was by Vivas. Yes, and amongst the crowd of giants, somehow he rose highest.
I think he knows it's a glorious opportunity. I'm sure he gave Tony Adams a call. He ducks under it. And Vivas knows anything on target once again would have resulted in a goal.
And it would have been his first in the Premiership for Arsenal. He scored in the Worthington Cup at Derby back in October. And how do Wimbledon dig themselves out of this problem? Maybe Robbie Earl's got an answer. But up against Keogh. He found it hard, however, the linesman saw an infringement there. set pieces go together well. So this might be their best opportunity of the game so far to threaten Arsenal. Carl Court got the touch on it, but David Seaman, I think, even had it been on target, would have saved it. Certainly he had it covered.
I think as Wimbledon looks wide, he's trying to actually play the ball out to Overmars, but Petit takes it on, sees the opportunity, and that really is a rasping left foot drive under Sullivan.
So the 2 goals have come from 2 midfield players for Arsenal. The joint leading scorers this season are Anelka, who's only on the bench tonight, and Bergkamp. Each have 15. Kanu here hasn't scored yet. Overmars certainly has 11 from him, a big contribution from the winger. There's Vieira. Kanu, cleared by Earl. But there's no way out for Wimbledon. Winterberg, great run. Bergkamp takes over. Vieira's there again. Parla getting a bit of a battering at the moment, Wimbledon. Vivas, brilliant. Tried to pick out Bergkamp, who tried the spectacular. Overmars! The linesman's flagged. An offside decision. Relief for Sullivan and Wimbledon.
Well, they really are running right. It was great footwork from Vivas down the right. Pulls it out. Bergkamp shakes for the volley. Doesn't clear the lines. Volley comes back in from Overmars, and it's Kanu right in front of Sullivan. Quite rightly called offside by the linesman.
Overmars leads another Arsenal assault. Bergkamp, delightful little ball there, didn't quite come off. Pressure here for Adams. He dealt with it brilliantly.
Fantastic defending, Alan. They just never switch off. 2-0 up, absolutely dominating the game. But again, Keown and Adams in exactly the right positions.
Petit. Chelsea found themselves leading, of course, 2-0 yesterday against Leicester. Some people suggesting they might have switched off there. That's an insult to Leicester's battling qualities. They came back to get a draw. And Kanu, somehow or other, has, I think, made sure that Wimbledon won't do likewise. It's 3 to Arsenal, and surely it's 3 points as well.
And it's a headed goal from an Arsenal striker. They're rarities in themselves. Bergkamp again, great ball in. Kanu, just with the slightest of headers, comes back off the post. I think it hits Ben Thatcher and goes back into the net. Couldn't do anything about it, Alan.
Really unfortunate own goal. Continuing the similarities, if you like, with the match at Stamford Bridge yesterday. Poor Ben Thatcher will get an own goal for that. Kanu won't be credited, though it was certainly his header that caused the problem. I think I said he hadn't scored before. He has got a couple of goals, of course, Kanu, but that will not be added to his list. Arsenal 3, Wimbledon 0. They're flying now, the champions. Here's Bergkamp. There's 4. The floodgates have opened at Highbury.
But I thought it might have been showtime. It certainly is now. Arsenal are absolutely running rampant. Fantastic footwork from Bergkamp. Again, the power's too much for Neil Sullivan to handle. 4-0, an absolute stroll for the Gunners.
Dennis Bergkamp nudges ahead of Anelka at the top of the scoring list at Highbury with his 16th goal of the season. And Bergkamp and Arsenal are looking awesome. Manchester United know for sure now that the fight is on for real. So do Chelsea. Bergkamp. Parla. got that ahead of it. Sullivan's clearance. Wimbledon fearful now, but there might be another 5 or even worse mauling on the way. And it has been a mauling. Petit, Winterburn, Overmars, Bergkamp, brilliant football. Kanu, Vieira, it'll go in, and Kanu applies the finishing touch, and now it is 5. No one's going to take Arsenal's title without a fight, even Manchester United.
Incredible interpassing. Bergkamp into Kanu, flicks it, gets a little bit of a break here. Vieira toes it, but Kanu's on hand just to tow it. Nothing more than he deserves. It's an all-seater stadium here at Highbury, but every single Arsenal supporter are on their feet. They are thoroughly enjoying this exhibition that the Arsenal side are putting on here this evening.
Kanu justifies his place in the starting lineup. And Arsenal are totally in control. And maybe going to their highest score of the season now. And of course they've still got that clean sheet to protect to make it 8 successive matches at Highbury without conceding a goal. That would be a new club record. They're not very interested in records, they're interested in titles. Here's Parla. Wimbledon being steamrolled at the moment. Patrick Vieira, great skill by Vieira, went down looking for the penalty. Play on, says Mr. Lodge. And there's still half an hour of torment ahead of Wimbledon.
Great point, Alan. I was just about to say exactly the same thing. I don't think there's any danger whatsoever that they're...
Here's Adams. Now Winterburn. Vieira. Now Vivas. Petit again. We're getting all the tricks of the trade now. Overmars. Arsenal have scored 3 in 3 minutes, and they've got the thirst for more. Overmars goes down, goal kick the verdict. 3 in 3, what a performance.
Absolutely spectacular. The first goal was important to break that resistance of Wimbledon. They've certainly fallen away. He's not showing too much emotion, is he, Arsene Wenger? But I bet underneath he feels absolutely delighted with the performance his side turned in this evening.
David Seaman has been a virtual spectator. Arsenal beat Leicester by 5 goals to 0. That, so far, is their biggest win of the season, but they're going looking for another one here. Bergkamp couldn't find a way through this time. Cunningham denied it. And Wimbledon's abysmal end to the season looks like getting worse. They'll be very, very grateful they've got those 41 points, which should make them safe. Royale for them.
Perfect response as well, Alan, after that, you know, extremely disappointing result in the semi-final, and it looked like they were on their way to Wembley within seconds of victory with Bergkamp's penalty. The hallmark of champions is the way they respond. What a response this evening.
What a run here by Overmars. Bergkamp. Petit. Vieira. Parla. Wimbledon chasing shadows. Petit. Parla. Vivas. Looking for Bergkamp far post. Cunningham heads behind for a corner. Well, to say that Arsenal are dominating is to understate the case.
Have we ever seen stats like that, Alan? I don't think so.
Not since Lennox Lewis beat Holyfield. Oh, sorry, he didn't, did he? independent judge might decide that Arsenal deserve to win this one. Bergkamp. Lay off to Vieira. Overmars. They want a piece of the scoring action. Won't get it from this attack. Robbie Earle looking for Carl Cord. Wimbledon looking for the final whistle. It's a long way away. I mean, you've almost got to feel sorry for Wimbledon at the moment. Arsenal aren't, of course, but this is a battering Clive.
It is a battering, but they came here with many injuries. They're down to their bare bones. They were resilient for the first 20 minutes or so. But once that first one went in, you really had to say the writing was on the wall, and Arsenal haven't disappointed.
Bergkamp. This won't be helping Joe Kinnear's recuperation at all. Sorry, Joe. Keown finds Parler. Bergkamp makes the run. Overmars is in space. Winterburn's in support. Dennis Bergkamp. Vieira. It's a lovely return ball from Parler. And he's got a corner. Kerry Hughes stumbling into the ball. Every statistic now overwhelmingly in Arsenal's favour. Adams comes to meet it. Keown. That's a clever ball. Petit. Keown. Goal kick this time.
I don't think we should be surprised at that either. 25 attempts, 5 goals on the scoreboard, 13 on target. Absolutely incredible statistics from Arsenal. What a performance this evening.
Boring Arsenal.
Don't you believe it?
I don't. Robbie Earle for Wimbledon. Got to try and remember their duties as professionals now. Marcus Gale for them on the edge of the box. So difficult for these Wimbledon players. Earle does well to win that one back. Wimbledon have got an injury problem as well. Well, they started the night with plenty of those. And during this break in the action as Marcus Gale gets treatment, let's remind you that tomorrow night we switch to nationwide action. Big match for Ipswich at Portman Road against Stockport on Sky Sports 2, beginning at 7:30. And then moving forward ahead to Friday at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 2, Bury against Bolton Wanderers. Another match with a vital say on the promotion issue in Division 1. The crowd at Highbury just confirmed as 37,982. Another full house, of course. Well, I suppose in this situation it's time perhaps to take off some of the established players, make sure that they're protected, they don't pick up any injuries, and Fabat Diawara is going to come on in place of one of those in the starting 11. Which one remains to be seen. Kanu. Petit. Winterburn. Bergkamp. Possible candidate to come off because of his injury before the match. Here's Kanu. Good tackle by Thatcher. Parler for Arsenal. They lead by 5 goals to 0, and if the score remains that way, they will have really eaten into Manchester United's advantage in terms of goal difference. It was 10, plus 10 in Manchester United favour before tonight. Well, it's half that now. There's Vieira and Bergkamp. Kanu patches interception. Bergkamp's there. Oh, that was so accurately placed. Sullivan did well. There was no Perry, Ardley, Roberts, Koku, Michael Hughes for Wimbledon tonight. Several players carrying injuries in the match. But I have to say, even a fully fit Wimbledon would have been fully extended against Arsenal, particularly in their second half performance here. The champions looking like champions. There's Bergkamp. Great skill again by him. Surrounded by players. Keeps possession. Parla, Vivas. He'll find the ball for a moment. Yule. Caught down the left-hand side. Did well to keep that in play, and a foul by Vivas. As I suspected, Dennis Bergkamp is the man who will go off to a standing ovation. Just to protect that groin injury, he's done his bit. My word, has he done his bit. Not just the goal either. His all-round contribution for 69 minutes, Clive, was absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely amazing, yes. Maybe he was the villain after missing that penalty last week, but the hero tonight without any shadow of a doubt.
And Wimbledon have got themselves a goal, would you believe?
We told you they might surprise us. There we are.
Carl Court on the end of the free kick. Arsenal perhaps distracted, strangely enough, by the substitution as Bergkamp went off and Diawara came on. They maybe just went to sleep.
A decent ball in, that was the thing. Very, very difficult to deal with. Curling in towards the goal. Carl Court, superb downward header, gave Seaman absolutely no chance. Certainly was totally unexpected.
And of course it dents that particular clean sheet record of Arsenal's as well, so they'll be absolutely furious about that, I should think. Might not make a jot of difference to the outcome of this match, but it'll still rattle them. And David Seaman, who's had so little to do tonight, has now had to fish the ball out of his net, and there has probably been no goal in recent seasons scored by the opposition at Highbury that has been celebrated so quietly. They almost look slightly embarrassed, Wimbledon. They know it's not going to make any difference. There's Vieira. Petit. And Winterburn. Can they re-establish that 5-goal advantage now? Vieira, Kanu, Parla. Plenty to pick out in the middle. Kanu was one of them. It was just beyond him as Blackwell threw himself at the ball. Diawara, the latest man, of course, to come on and cause problems now for Wimbledon. His 11th appearance since his move from Bordeaux in January. Marcus Gale for Wimbledon. A mini revival on the way for them. It should really make life a bit more difficult for David Seaman then. Patrick Vieira. Winterburn finds Overmars. Parla. Overmars. Deflected away for a corner.
unsurprisingly, Alan, the tempo of the game just dropped off again. Really, that's been a result of the Wimbledon goal. I think it's just stunned everybody.
Certainly did David Seaman. Alcord, who scored it, make sure that Patrick Vieira couldn't get on the end of that corner. Overmars. There's Winterburn. Is that handball? The referee decides not. Winterburn again against Blackwell. Keogh. Offside, I think. The linesman's flagged. The referee's only just seen him. Wimbledon are about to make a change now, and I wonder what kind of reception he's going to get. Stuart Castledine, who couldn't have chosen a much more difficult match to make his return to the first team, is the player to go on. And a pretty generous reception for the man who replaces him, John Hartson. And why not, but in the mood to be generous, the home fans. 10th appearance since his record £7.5 million move from West Ham in January. 2 years, of course, at Arsenal. Over 70 appearances and 17 goals in the Arsenal colours. Diawara for that. Overmars. Rule in trouble against Petit. Blackwell helped him out. Now Kanu. And the free kick goes Arsenal's way. The whole game has gone Arsenal's way, apart from that brief moment when Carl Court scored the first goal that Arsenal have conceded in over 8 hours of football. In the league, that is. Posse of players went about to try, Overmars to try and pick out here. He went for the shot himself in the end.
I think he just tried to fool Neil Sullivan, really. He sees him just a couple of yards off his line. He looked very comfortable, though. I think he knew all the way he was going over. A little bit of cheek from Overmars.
Well, since Blackburn won 3-1 here at Highbury in December 1997, Arsenal have taken 68 from a possible 78 points on their own ground. Truly staggering record. There's another 3 on the way. Will there be another goal on the way? Parler's shot. Not an easy choice man of the match tonight. There are so many candidates. 0660 112233. 0660 1122 33. It's your choice. Give us a call now. Ray Parler would certainly be in the frame. Hughes. Kimball. I said before the match that Wimbledon would ideally like their season to be over now. They certainly would have been feeling that way midway through this second half after conceding 3 goals in 3 minutes. They'll come back briefly, but Arsenal come back at them again. Winterburn lining up the shot. Well, I think you said, Clive, when he gets them, they're spectacular, and that was almost another to add.
I think Kanu has actually just had a little word with him, asking him why he didn't pass it to him. But another great effort from Nigel. Just needs to get one of those on target. But he wants to get in the act this evening as well.
Once a Wimbledon man, 11 years an Arsenal man. And what a great career he's had. Thatcher's clearance. Arsenal pick it up again in the middle of the field. Here goes Vieira. Overmars. Vieira again. Petit. It's almost testimonial game stuff from Arsenal now.
It's actually like a training session that a coach would put on, whereby, you know, you attack the defensive four, two banks of four.
Attack them they do again here, and a chance, but Sullivan quickly out at the feet of Kanu. Oh, sorry, it was Diawara this time. Threats coming from all directions for Wimbledon. Keown wins the header. Parler. I don't wish to be unkind to Wimbledon, but I cannot remember seeing such a one-sided match in the Premiership for a long time. Overmars. Lovely little ball, prodded to Winterberg. Keown in the forward position then. Even the defenders trying to get a piece of the scoring action. Hughes. Hartson. First touch for him. Feeling sorry for David Seaman, gives him a bit of work to do. This is Cunningham for Wimbledon. It was a rather clumsy challenge by the Arsenal skipper, and Wimbledon get a free kick. Just a shade over 10 minutes to go. Their last free kick in a similar position led to a goal.
Well, for Tony, 80 minutes he's played. That's the first one he's missed time. For a centre-half, that's not bad, is it?
Martin on the back post, trying to win the header there. Tony Adams knocks it behind for a corner. I think he felt he was getting a little bit of a nudge there from his former teammate. But referee Lodge stays firm. Corner it is. Terry Hughes will take it. Head this time, knocked back by Cork, but Blackwell stopped in his tracks by the referee's whistle. Cork committed the foul. Rivas. And almost losing a little bit of steam, a little bit of edge now, Arsenal, knowing, of course, that the game is won, perhaps subconsciously conserving a little bit for the next challenge.
Well, they've certainly done more than enough, haven't they? I think, again, got to say, what sort of response were we going to see from Arsenal after that semi-final defeat? The perfect one, really. Arsene Wenger will be absolutely delighted.
They clinched the title after that fantastic run of 10 successive victories, March through to May last season. A run began with a 1-0 victory over Wimbledon, strangely enough. And, well, he would be a brave, brave man that would say that Arsenal were not capable of retaining their title. They clearly are. And I would say clearly the season's going to go all the way to the last couple of matches. Clyde, the impossible question is...
No, don't.
No, don't. I won't. I wouldn't put you through it, because no one knows anyway. Parler.
I think one thing we can be assured of is it was going to be an absolutely wonderful finish to the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Winterberg moves on back. Clearance by Carl Court. Here's Gale. Hartson dealt another little blow to Adams there. Gale on a great run forward here. And it was Adams, who'd been on the deck a couple of seconds earlier, who recovered to win the tackle.
I think Big John's going to go and have a word with him, actually. Because he did catch Tony Adams. But again, look at the recovery. Absolutely fantastic recovery from Tony Adams.
And that, by the way, is when you're leading 5-1 with 8 minutes to go.
people wonder why and how they keep clean sheets and win championships.
Carl Court's there again. Goal kick this time. Yes, I'm sure there are some teams to whom defeat in the FA Cup semi-final in such crushing circumstances would have been a setback that they would have found it difficult to recover from. But I don't think anyone, for one moment, thought that might happen to Arsenal, Clive, and it hasn't.
No, because we've seen him do it before, and they've again showed the real quality that they have within their club to bounce back in the way they have tonight.
I mean, they are cliches, aren't they? Character, resilience, and so forth. But they're perfect words to describe Arsenal.
They are, and one big factor as well is ability. What ability and top quality they have within their playing staff here.
In fairness, they're also perfect words to describe Manchester United, who, of course, on Wednesday night carry the English flag in Europe and carry the hopes of most of the country with them.
Well, there was nothing between the two sides, Arsenal and Manchester United. And I think we do hope that Manchester United obviously go through to the final. And they will have to show all those qualities against Juventus.
Another header there by Gale. Was mighty close to bringing Wimbledon a second goal. Nigel Winterburn guarding that far post. Got the vital touch, I think. And Parla wins it back for Arsenal. Well, hesitates, but in the end produces a great ball. Overmars' shot is saved. Comes back to the same player, and another great save by Sullivan. Diawara providing the through ball, then providing the shot that tested the Wimbledon keeper. Kano in a threatening position now. Back to the defender. Parla. Diawara and Overmars in the box. Vieira, Petit, Overmars. Maybe we haven't seen the end of the goals yet. Petit, Overmars, Vieira, Overmars. What a brilliant move.
This is the earlier effort from Diawara. Great ball. What an exquisite touch by Overmars. Fierce drive. Diawara follows up on the rebound. Again, good handling from Neil Sullivan. Tremendous touch from Overmars. Well parried by Sullivan. Diawara follows up. Fierce drive coming back in again. And again, excellent handling from Neil Sullivan.
No let up in the pressure for Wimbledon. 5-1 down, but Arsenal not easing off. Petit for them. One back by Hughes, but he'll go to Vieira. It's always going to be his ball. Adams. Winterburn. Diawara. Petit strutting his stuff in the middle of the field. Overmars has been brilliant as well tonight. There goes Winterburn again. Diawara. Manu in the middle. The cross eludes everyone. It's a decent ball, that by Ewell. There are not many who outpace Martin Keogh.
How do you pick a man of the match tonight, Alan?
With great difficulty, I would say. Even though he's not on the field, I'm sure Dennis Bergkamp will get a few votes. Parler's been out. Well, they've all been outstanding, haven't they?
Arsenal.
Really? What's the point? Yeah, Arsenal. Overmars, another candidate. Kanu. Diawara beaten to it by Thatcher. Keown. And now Adams. Playing 1-2s in the opposition half. The crowd loved that. There's Parler. And the challenge by Kimball leads to another Arsenal corner. And the crowd willing another Arsenal goal. Not going to get it for the moment. Robiel's clearance. And a dispirited Wimbledon will just want to hear the final whistle now. Diawara linking brilliantly again. The tee, oh, it's great stuff, apart from the final shot by Diawara. But some of the approach play there was classic.
Great interplay, Diawara, Kanu, little flick, chest. And I don't think he really expected to actually have such a free opportunity 8 yards out. He knows it was a glorious opportunity to score a goal himself this evening.
And Martin Keown gets first use of the showers. Well, Dennis Bergkamp will already have been booted and suited, I'm sure. Steve Bold comes on in his place. And there's going to be a change by the looks of it. Ewell going off and Ainsworth coming on for Wimbledon. Ainsworth has been out of action for a long time following a hernia operation, has only just come back. Hughes for Wimbledon. A minute of stoppage time will be added. That's one thing that Wimbledon will be grateful for, I think. Overmars. There goes Robiel again for Wimbledon. Adams clearance. The crowd getting a bit anxious then. They thought that Wimbledon were going to score again. Petit, Vieira. Overmars. Vieira again. Crowd getting greedy now. They still want to see another goal. Sullivan saves at the feet of Diawara. It's all over. Arsene Wenger's team moved to within a point of the Premiership leaders, Manchester United, with a 5-1 destruction of Wimbledon, who were never in it from start to finish. Ray Parlour gave one of many outstanding performances for Arsenal tonight. His goal started the rot from Wimbledon's point of view in the first half, but it was 3 goals in 3 minutes in the second half that really turned the tide in Arsenal's favour. An emphatic, decisive, overwhelming victory for the champions. It's made a big difference to the goal difference as well. It's made a big difference to the league table. Manchester United and Arsenal weekend winners. Only Chelsea disappointed of the top 3. Let's savour again those 5 Arsenal goals. Parlour got the first. There were some absolute belters along the way. Patrick Vieira with that great strike. Bergkamp, for me, had a wonderful game and played a key part in so many of those goals. That was an unlucky one, coming back off Thatcher. Bergkamp then got in on the scoring act himself before going off shortly afterwards for a well-earned rest. Not before he saw Kanu tap that one over the line. And now Wimbledon didn't know which way to look. The threats were coming from every single direction. And the crowd thoroughly enjoyed this marvellous Arsenal performance. It may have been a weak and injury-hit Wimbledon team, but scoring goals with such style deserves our admiration. Arsenal 5, Wimbledon 1.
Thank you, Alan. Sky Sports 2 tomorrow night. attention turns to Ipswich, who play Stockport. 7:30 start on Friday. It's Bury against Bolton. Same channel, 7 o'clock start. Big day on Sky Sports 1 on Sunday. Leeds play Manchester United at 11 o'clock in the morning, and that's followed at 3 in the afternoon by Sheffield Wednesday and Chelsea. And to complete Sunday on Sky Sports 3, it's Rangers against Aberdeen. Signs of a little stumble from Rangers recently. They play Aberdeen 6 o'clock, Sky Sports 3 this coming Sunday. Well, 5-1 then for the Gunners. We wondered what the response would be. That is it. They take second place. They're a point behind Manchester United now. Andy's thoughts and the reaction from Highbury when we come back. Well, thumping good win is the word. 5 goals from 16 attempts on target, 34 in total for Arsenal. 4 attempts from the Dons. They scored with the one they hit the target with. It really was Arsenal from start to finish. Relentless. 3 goals in a 2-minute 40 spell midway through that second half. Look at the action areas, the possession. I mean, it's just... I don't think we've ever seen anything like that, Andy, have we?
I don't think so, Richard. They were absolutely dominant from start to finish. And even when they took the foot off the gas second half, look. Goodness me. That must be some sort of record, you know. I was just thinking 34 shots at goal. I can't remember seeing one team have an attempt every 3 minutes in a football match.
Worth making a note of, because we'll ask it in a couple of years, I'm sure. Man of the match. I bet they're all red. They are. Ray Parler's won it. It's been quite a night for him. Carling Player of the Month, and his turn at the appearance trophy as well. And now the champagne for Ray Parler, and he's with Nigel Winterburn, and they're both talking to George Gabb.
Ray, Nigel, well played. Everyone wondered how you'd react to Villa Park, but no one expected, I think, 5 goals.
Yeah, it was a great performance tonight. You know, it was important for us to get back into the rhythm of things, and it was all a bit down after the semi-final. But you know, it was nice to get a good win tonight and really play well. I think everybody played well tonight and got 5 goals.
Did 3 in 3 minutes, Nigel, kill them off?
I thought so. Yeah, I think first half we still had a lot of chances. Disappointing to go in with you know, odd goal, but second half, I mean, 5 minutes, I can't believe it. It was just untrue, really.
Did it help, in fact, coming out of Villa Park, knowing you had a big game and the title to play for?
Well, I think every game at Arsenal's a big game. You know, we didn't let ourselves down. We're very disappointed after the game. We could really have just rested on our laurels and said, oh, you know, feel sorry for ourselves. But that's not the way this club works, and I think we showed tonight that we're going to give it our best shot.
Ray, well played as well on your 200th league appearance for the Gunners. Is the intention now just put as much pressure as you can on Man U?
Yeah, that's all we can do, really. You know, win our games and see what happens from there. Pick up points. We picked up another 3 points to put the pressure on. So that's all we can do, really, is keep winning and hopefully they'll slip up.
Ray is the calling man of the match. Nigel, if you can give that to him. Well played, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Tremendous win for Arsenal. And well done, Sean Davis of Swansea, who wins the replica jersey. So try and sum that up for us then. What have we seen from Arsenal tonight?
A team who mean business, Richard. Everyone asked the question as George posed it there. Everyone's wondering how they would react to that huge disappointment. And what an emphatic answer. I thought they had... You don't often get, as a manager, a performance when all your outfield players play well.
Right.
I cannot think of one Arsenal player who didn't play well tonight. All of the outfield players. We won't talk about David, because you could have played in goal for Arsenal tonight, and it wouldn't have made any difference to the result. That's what I'm saying. But the 10 outfield players I thought were immense. Absolutely immense. The 3 that were the best for me, I thought Parler, Vieira and Petit just epitomised everything about this Arsenal side tonight. And I thought they drove at them. Bergkamp provided the little bits of class. We expect that. But the first goal is often the hardest, as I've said, to get, Richard, against a team. And those 3 midfield players that I mentioned were absolute giants. Their performances were superb from start to finish. I mean, I just couldn't fault any of those 3. And from that, they sparked other performances. Nigel Winterburn, I said to you 5 minutes ago, he must be in with a shout of man of the match. Nigel was sensational tonight. 2 centre-backs did their bit. They'll be so annoyed, Arsenal, that they've given a goal away, you know. A sloppy piece of defending, very unlike Arsenal. But they'd halved Manchester United's goal difference. And then they've given away a sloppy goal, but I just thought first half it was a case of when they were going to score rather than if they were going to score.
And a question of being careful for that half hour that it takes to make the breakthrough, as United had to be, as Chelsea had to be yesterday.
Well,
and then put your foot on the gas.
When you play against Wimbledon, Richard, you know you have to be careful. You know you have to be disciplined. And that's what they were. And, all right, at 1-0 and at 0-0, Wimbledon asked a couple of questions at the other end, nothing great. But the threat is always there that you might lose a goal. So you have to be careful. They were that. But this little spell we're just about to see now was absolutely incredible. And this just blew them away.
2 minutes 40. I'm not sure that was intended for Vieira, are you?
I agree with Clive. I think he was looking for Mark Overmars, but Vieira was thinking, I'm having a bit of this. Great finish. Weaker side, his left foot, but he gave the keeper absolutely no chance. Looking to play it wide, but he thinks, no, I'll have a little bit of this. And I think when this goes in, as far as I'm concerned, unlike yesterday, when I was watching Chelsea at 2-0, although I thought they would do well not to win the game, they would have to do something wrong not to win the game, I still was never convinced. I thought at 2-0 tonight, the game was gone.
Yeah, you always had the feeling that Chelsea might concede and make life difficult for themselves, didn't you? But not Arsenal.
No, not
certainly not until it didn't matter.
Not the way
anyway.
they were. I mean, this run from Petit, we'll look at this goal again and the finish here. I mean, then they just went on this run. I mean, it's ridiculous.
3 goals in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, as Nigel Winterburn said, it was just sensational to play in it. And you want to see how many times Nigel's involved in the build-up and all these moves. He was unbelievable coming down the left-hand side. So much of the ball. Arsene does the right thing, I think. He says to Dennis, well done, you've played well, now come off, have a little rest, get ready for Middlesbrough away, which is going to be a huge game at the weekend for them. And I liked this lad, and we wondered how they would play together. I thought he deserved his tap-in. He was unlucky with the header, came back off the post. It's got to be an own goal. But I think he's deserved his goal. Kanu, I thought he showed great touch on the ball, good awareness, great ability.
He's impossible to shift off it once he's got it, isn't he?
Well, he's one chop like with the length of his legs, but I think he's got superb ability.
Sloppy there.
It's for them. It is for Arsenal. I mean, we know that Wimbledon are good from set pieces, but I would imagine that Petit and Adams and Keown would be absolutely livid with themselves that they've allowed a goal to go in. They would have taken 5-0. They'll have to take 5-1. They are there. They are there.
They are right there, a point again behind Manchester United. Having played a game more, Chelsea have played 33 as well. They've got 64 points, but as you say, a big impression on that goal difference.
Yeah, that might, at the end of the season, Richard, in such a close campaign, that might be the best 5 goals that Arsenal have scored.
Wimbledon in the bottom half. They dropped there this weekend. They've got 41 points. They might just finish the season on 41 as well if they keep playing like that. In the drop zone, Blackburn, Southampton and Forest, no change down there. Everton and Coventry changing places this weekend, but it's the title, of course, that we're talking about tonight. And Arsene Wenger is waiting to talk to us. Arsene, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Arsene, we were wondering how your team would react after the cup disappointment. Were you as well, or did you expect that?
I was as well, of course, because it was a huge disappointment, but on the other side, knowing our tough mental side we have in the team, I expected, of course, I was optimistic, but you never know. The disappointment was so deep that I was scared as well.
I just wondered, Arsene, I thought that was an immensely impressive performance tonight. Would you agree? Would you think that ranks as one of your best of the season?
Yes, it's one of our best performances of the season. And everything went well for us. In the first half, we created the chances, couldn't score, and suddenly everything we created went in, so it became easier. But of course, it was a good performance.
What was your thought about leaving Nicholas Anelka out, Arsene, and bringing in Kanu?
I thought that Anelka is 20 years old only and has played so many games since the beginning of the season that I wanted to give him a breather. I think at the moment he couldn't score and had felt a little bit down, and as well that for a player of 20 years old to play so many games is too difficult the whole season, and as well Kanu did well every time he came on, and I wanted to see how it goes, Bergkamp and Kanu together.
There was talk, Arsene, that Dennis Bergkamp was very close to not playing. Is that true?
Yeah, he had the fitness test this morning, and in the end he didn't want to come off, but it's always like that.
He was enjoying it, I think.
Yes, he was. He was so down after the last game, of course, that he enjoyed it very much tonight.
Arsene, I'm always very interested in the psychology, how you get players back. After that disappointment last Wednesday, how long did it take them, and indeed yourself, to get that out of your system?
It's difficult to say. Of course, the first 2 days are the most difficult ones because you put so much effort into every game that when you come out with such a disappointment, it's very difficult for the first 2 days, 3 days. But after that as well, I would say the experience is important because you know that football is like that. You have ups and downs, and the more experienced the team is, the easier it is. The younger the team is, the more difficult it is. So experience has a very important role in that.
Are you pleased that you had the extra days before playing, or would you have liked this one Saturday?
When you come out from losing games, you would like to play very quickly. But on the other hand, I think physically it helped us a lot because of what I have seen in the last 2 days. We were very tired, and these extra days helped us a little bit.
Not going to ask you who will win it, Arsene, but have you got in your mind a points total that you think might win it?
Yes, I've said first 75, but I was a little bit too low, I would say.
I think so.
It would be 77, 78 maybe.
Which means you can afford to drop no more than 3 points, Arsene.
We can't afford nothing at the moment because Man United plays too well. But we just can try to win our games and try to win the next one. That's all we can do. At the moment we have 66, and I would say it's comparable to what we did last season, but Man United was so strong this season that it's very difficult to keep up with them.
I just think, though, after tonight, Arsene, you must be very confident that your side can go, and if you need to win 5, will win 5.
You don't know. You're cautious when you know football because everything changes so quickly from one game to the other one that we just will try to do well in the next game, and we know it will be a very tough game at Middlesbrough because they play very well at the moment. So we just the only thing I would like is that our players do the best they can in every game.
Middlesbrough away, and then of course, I mean, you know Arsene very well, but to Derby at home, Spurs away, Leeds United away. They can have a big say in it, Leeds, can't they? And you finish with Villa.
Everybody, yes, and when you look at the pictures, you're scared, so it's better you don't look at them.
We'll take them away then. There we go. They're gone. Okay. Arsene, listen, thoroughly enjoyable tonight.
Thank you.
Terrific stuff. And last Wednesday, by the way. I mean, great night, but obviously not the right result for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arsene.
Thanks very much indeed.
Bye-bye.
I mean, he always says the right things, a little bit like Vialli, doesn't he? Always says the right things, a very dignified man.
He is, yeah. I mean, I like Arsene. I think he's made a huge impression in our game, and everyone is kind of taken to him, even if you're not an Arsenal supporter. Very much like Gianluca Vialli, very much a gentleman. But even then, you know, it's strange because even in the back of a 5-1 thrashing, he wasn't that buoyant.
No.
You know, he was still...
Businesslike would be right.
Businesslike, but I think he has a mammoth respect for the team he's chasing. And I don't know, Richard, maybe if you were to probe and get down deep into his mind, he might feel that United won't throw away 4 or 5 points. And that might be, even in the back of a great performance, he might just be thinking, United are playing too well at the moment. They don't look like they're going to crack. Because he was not as joyous as